Got you.
Alex, when you look at the 48 minutes as a whole, what are some things that stand out to you as areas that you got to improve on in game two that prevent you from even being in a late game situation like that?
Yeah, just some execution stuff, controllables for us. Gave up too many second chance points, gave up too many, non-earned fouls, like fouls we just kind of gave them, which allows them to set their defense and keeps us in a half-court offense. So a couple of things I think that we can do better is probably just finishing possessions. They got some really good offensive rebounders, and then showing our hands, trying to figure out, you got to figure out and dictate, how the game's going to be called, and try and formulate a plan defensively to negotiate with that, and we didn't do a good enough job with that tonight.
AC, just what was your perspective of those last 15 seconds or so of game clock, the fouling up three, the decisions behind that, and the sequence that sort of won them the game with AG's three?
Yeah, so I think the first one was me on Jokic, which was maybe a quick whistle on it. Like, I don't even know if it was really a foul compared to how the playoffs have been called recently, in the first round at least. So regardless, we wanted to foul, up three. That's a strategy that we've talked about doing. So get him to the line. Then we execute. Shea makes 2 free throws. I probably could have let Gordon dribble a couple more times, run some more time off the clock before I fouled again. But at the same time, we've talked about, when in doubt, just make sure you get the foul done. And then, Chet missed a couple free throws. We were aware of time and score. They didn't have timeouts. They were going to go regardless. So we were ready. He got an outlet, and he banged in a 3 to win the game. It's kind of how it is. I don't think those last 2-3 possessions lost us the game. Obviously, we probably could have executed a little better and made free throws, and it would have been a little easier. But 5-6 minute mark down to the 1 minute mark probably could have been a lot better, and it would have not been coming down to that.
And I know you mentioned that those last few possessions probably are not the reason you lost that game, but the position Chet is put in, it feels like a heavy position for a second-year guy just to miss a couple free throws and then have to get back and see the game-winning 3 shot over him. Like, what's your sort of message to him after that?
Yeah, he's in there for a reason. He was in there game 3 when he had 25 in the second half, and we had to come back against Memphis. He was in there late in the game 4 against Memphis, close out that series. We trust him. We believe in him. There's a reason that, Mark puts him out there, and I felt confident when he caught the ball to go shoot the free throws. Sometimes the ball doesn't go in, and you got to try and make a play. And, what are the percentage chance of Chet missing 2 free throws and then Gordon making a contested above the break 3 for game? It probably is in our favor, and yet it didn't happen for us, right? So, again, don't think it goes to that. I think it goes to the 5 minutes before that. But, super confidence in Chet. Like, that's unwavering.
When you look at those 5 minutes before that, what do you think are the primary factors on you guys, blowing a 14-point lead?
Yeah, just those things I mentioned earlier, not finished possessions. We gave them too many free throws where they didn't have to earn it. We couple fouls here and there. You toss a coin up and see if they're fouls or not. That kind of isn't in our control. But just being able to finish possessions, because they would get either an offensive rebound and a tip in or free throws and then go set their defense. And now we're working really hard to go against, their cross matching and the stuff they're doing. So kind of, beating a dead horse, but like finish possessions, don't foul.
Hey, Alex, I think Shea was asked about the team's response in Game 2, and I think he said it's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. How curious are you to see what this team is made of going into Game 2 after losing like this, after not having a lot of adversity in this fashion in the regular season?
Yeah, it's the fun part about basketball, going out there and competing. Like, that's... I really wish we would have won tonight, but, I have fun playing basketball tonight. Like, I love competing and playing basketball. Like, I want to win more than anything, and losing sucks. And giving that game away doesn't feel good. But, perspective, we're getting the chance to go play in the playoffs, Game 2 in the second round on Wednesday. Like, that's... What more can I ask for than that? I had plenty of years where I didn't even get to play in the postseason. You know, I had to go to Miami twice and lose and go home and have a long summer. So I'm playing basketball in May. I'm excited about the opportunity.
Yeah, Alex, you guys, as expected, the bench dominated. Denver's not a deep team. Didn't work out for you in the end tonight, but how much can what you guys did as a bench, how much can that play out, do you think, the entire series?
Yeah, I mean, I think just continue to have an imprint on the game with the guys that we bring in that situation, and a lot of that is, you know, putting me and Case in, and then Wiggs out there, sometimes Isaiah Joe, and then depending on, you know, what big is out there with us, and then throw Dub in. We just have good symmetry, good synergy, good chemistry to be able to like play off each other, speed other guys up, and get out in transition. I think that's, you know, where we thrive. And like I said earlier, if we don't foul them and we rebound the ball, we have more chances to do that.
Alex, I was wondering about the strategy. You guys were so effective against Joker early. Seemed like just, I mean, I think he committed 7 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
You guys really had it going on him. And then late, he was getting to the hoop really, really easy. Was it a lot of the changes from their end or something that you guys did differently, or both?
Yeah, we probably just gave him a little too much freedom on a couple plays. Like the one I got switched on, and he just, you know, he outweighs me by 100 pounds maybe. Like, he just walked me to 10 feet and shot a hook shot. Like, we got to be better in situations like that. Like, he's the best player on their team. He's multiple-time MVP. Like, we got to understand the situation and look to kind of scramble and get out of those. But I think he just he knows that he has to be more of a scorer, I think. And you know, for us, it's about making that hard for him. And I think just too many times we didn't make it hard for him in the second half.
Anybody else? You have 2 more. Joel and then Barry.
AC Darnell asked you something similarly, and I know you mentioned that you had fun playing tonight. I'm not in the locker room, but it sounded from outside that things were lighthearted in there after the game. Shay's comments came off as lighthearted. What sort of, if that's even, if you describe it that way, what's sort of the headspace and what gives you guys the confidence to?
No,
to be
it was
lighthearted after that?
it was pretty dim the first couple of minutes when we had to sit there and take it in that, you know, we lost game 1, and when we played, you know, really well for 40, 45 minutes of it. Yeah, I don't want to come off as lighthearted. I don't want to come off as not caring. There's a deep-rooted care factor in this team, and guys want to win, and we want to play deep in the playoffs and win the last game. Like, that's why we're here. We're here to compete and to do that. That being said, you know, it's a team to first team to 4 games, and they have 1 and we have 0. So from there, we got to move forward, regroup, see what we can do better, and go get the one on Wednesday.
Yeah, Alex, I asked Shay and Jalen about this. He gets the breakaway dunk on the inbounds play with 10 seconds left. Put you up 3. Jokic is out of the game because they don't want him to foul. They think they can put him back. They think they're going to foul. They can put him back in. They're out of timeouts. They can't put him back in. Mark's strategy, your team strategy all year, foul in that situation. How difficult is it to switch gears if you wanted to not foul all of a sudden since Jokic is not in the game?
Yeah, that'd probably be a hard thing to audible, just because we had great communication in the timeout about what we want to do, and everybody was on the same page and pretty clear about it. I think the only thing that we could change, that I could probably just run some more time off the clock, and you know, I probably need to do a better job of that. That's probably what I'll beat myself up about the most with that last scenario. But like I said, you don't want to be in that position. You do stuff well enough the minutes leading up to that, and you don't have to worry about the last 10 seconds. And a lot of focus goes into that strategy to foul up 3 and how we executed it and all that. But again, the game wasn't won and lost in the last 15 seconds. We had plenty of opportunities before that to win the game.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.